This is an inside look at the early stages of production of the reliable Ford Super Duty trucks. This is the Kentucky truck plant in Louisville, the primary assembly facility. These large industrial stamping presses shape flat sheets of steel or aluminum into finished vehicle components, including doors, roofs, fenders, hoods, tailgates, box sides, floor pans, and body panels. Last year, a total of 300,000 Super Duty trucks were produced in the United States. About 8,700 employees work at this location, most of them on the assembly line. Factory workers on the main assembly line usually earn around $24 per hour on average. This is how the quality of the body and white of a future Ford Super Duty is inspected. The chassis frame is made up of two longitudinal steel beams connected by a series of crossmembers. The design and manufacturing process for heavy-duty and medium-duty trucks involves a full chassis frame build using a ladder frame. This is how the wheels are mounted onto the chassis frame using an orange manipulator arm. While the chassis frame and cab are being assembled, transmissions for Super Duty pickups are produced at the Sharonville transmission plant. The plant spans 182 acres with a massive 2.4 million square feet of floor space, where 2,000 Ford employees work daily, building transmissions. Henry Ford revolutionized car manufacturing in 1913 with the assembly line. Instead of building an entire car, each worker stayed in one spot and focused on a single task throughout their shift, making production faster and more efficient. For heavy-duty trucks like the Super Duty, Ford uses transmissions designed to handle high torque and heavy payloads. Sharonville's flagship heavy-duty transmission is the 10R140, specifically designed for Super Duty pickups. Over the years, the facility has been a vital part of Ford's operations, producing a broad range of transmissions and components for Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles, making it a cornerstone of the company's manufacturing network. Ford's 6.7-liter diesel engine is engineered for versatility, capable of running on a blend of up to 20% biodiesel and 80% traditional petroleum diesel, offering both performance and flexibility in fuel choice. Ford Super Duty transmissions are capable and strong for heavy work and towing, but owner satisfaction is mixed. Many enjoy their trucks with no problems, while others report shift quality issues or the need for repairs, particularly with earlier 10-speed units. After completing final inspections and all necessary documentation, the transmissions are carefully packaged and shipped to truck assembly plants, including facilities like the Ohio Assembly Plant, ready to be installed in new vehicles. Now, the workers use a crane to install the massive engine into the chassis frame. The Ford trucks are now assembled body on frame, with modular integration of the engine, transmission, cab, and chassis. You are now witnessing a stage known as the marriage, where the vehicle body is joined to the chassis frame. The plant employs a large-scale automated production system, with approximately 420 robots working along the assembly line. Buyers have the option to equip their truck with a 6.7-liter Power-Stroke diesel V8, known for its high torque and towing capability, or a 6.8-liter gasoline V10, which offers strong performance and power for demanding workloads. This is how all the doors are installed, always using a manipulator arm, and only at the end of the production line. With the 2016 generation, Ford changed its approach to engine suppliers. The company now offers its own engines for these trucks. The diesel engine and transmission package is completely produced by Ford, making it the only medium-duty truck maker at that time to design and build both components in-house. The front grille on this Ford Super Duty can be easily snapped on. Now, workers attach and snap chrome elements onto the body, such as badges and logos. Rather than adapting the lighter-duty F-150 truck for heavier use, Super Duty trucks have been designed as a dedicated variant of the Ford F-Series. The Ford vehicles then undergo final quality inspection in brightly lit LED tunnels. Different models are produced on the same assembly line, but always within the same vehicle category. The Super Duty is built to handle heavier loads. Its increased weight also improves towing stability, preventing light trailers from bouncing excessively when empty. The primary difference between the Ford F-150 and the Ford Super Duty lies in their size and capability. Super Duty trucks are larger, stronger, and specifically engineered for heavy-duty work. They are particularly well known for their class-leading towing and hauling capacity, with models like the F350, F450, and F550 standing out as top choices for drivers who need maximum performance on demanding jobs. You are now watching the Ohio Assembly Plant, the only facility where the Ford F650 and F750 are built. At this moment, you're watching the chassis frame being carefully transported across the factory floor, moving steadily through the production hall as it prepares for the next stages of assembly. Here, the wheels are being mounted onto the chassis frame with the help of an orange manipulator arm. Once all parts are prepared and the schedule is set, the physical assembly of an F650 or F750 typically takes around 30 hours. These medium-duty commercial trucks are built on a robust, industrial-grade ladder frame, designed to handle heavy loads and demanding work conditions. Ford Super Duty trucks feature a pickup-style ladder frame, providing a lower gross vehicle weight rating of under 19,500 pounds, while maintaining strength and durability for heavy-duty tasks. Ford Super Duty trucks, ranging from the F250 to the F550, are produced at the Kentucky Truck Plant, while the larger F650 and F750 models are exclusively assembled at the Ohio Assembly Plant. While the chassis frame and engine are being assembled, the vehicle's body frame is simultaneously being formed in the stamping plant. The assembly line inside the Ohio plant stretches across approximately 19 miles of conveyor systems. You are now watching a process called the marriage, which is the joining of the body with the chassis frame. Prior to 2015, these medium-duty trucks were built in Mexico in a joint venture facility operated with another company. To support the production of the F650 and F750, Ford invested approximately $168 million in the Ohio plant, adding new tooling, equipment, and expanded body shop capacity. This Ford factory operates a large-scale automated production system, with approximately 420 robots working along the assembly line. The Ohio plant's manufacturing setup supports a wide range of body styles and configurations, including regular cab, super cab, crew cab, and multiple chassis options. This flexibility allows the assembly line to produce different truck variants simultaneously, rather than just identical models. You are now observing the final assembly on the main production line, where workers also carry out thorough quality inspections to ensure every truck meets Ford's standards. The shift of production from Mexico back to the U.S. helped preserve over 1,000 hourly jobs at the Ohio plant, as part of a broader agreement between Ford and the United Auto Worker. You are now watching the final assembly of the Ford F550, a process that is very similar to how the F650 and F750 are built. Before leaving the factory, Ford Super Duty trucks undergo rigorous testing to ensure top performance, durability, and safety. Trucks are driven over gravel, potholes, uneven pavement, rough off-road trails, and hills to evaluate suspension, chassis strength, and ride comfort. This is the Transportable Instrument Panel Sound Testing Evaluation Rig, designed to ensure that even heavy-duty trucks like the Ford Super Duty deliver a quiet and comfortable cabin, despite their size and powerful performance. This is how climate and road conditions are simulated using the Transportable Environmental 4-poster. It allows Ford to test Super Duty trucks for rough terrain, extreme temperatures, and full payloads directly at the plant. Actuators in the Transportable Environmental 4-poster system can move each wheel up and down hundreds of times per minute, simulating the bumps, dips, and vibrations trucks would encounter on real roads. This rapid movement allows engineers to evaluate suspension performance, chassis durability, and ride comfort under a wide range of conditions. This testing can simulate road mileage equivalent to tens of thousands of real miles in just a few days. During the development of the latest generation, Ford conducts extensive multi-month testing on proving grounds and tracks, ensuring the trucks perform reliably under extreme conditions and real-world driving scenarios. Tracks include wet or icy surfaces for traction, mud, dust, or gravel for off-road durability, and sections simulating extreme heat or cold. An exoskeleton is a wearable mechanical suit that enhances and supports a worker's strength and endurance. At Ford factories, these are mostly upper-body exoskeletons, designed to help employees lift, hold, and position heavy components with greater ease and less physical strain, making assembly work safer and more efficient. Here's how the Ford Super Duty is put through the camper handling and roll stability control test. The trucks navigate sharp turns, emergency stops, and slalom courses to evaluate stability, electronic stability control, steering precision, and braking performance under challenging conditions. If the system detects a potential rollover or loss of control, it can apply individual brakes or reduce engine power to keep the truck stable. Every Hyundai sold in the United States is assembled right here. At the Alabama factory, more than 350,000 top-quality Tucson vehicles are produced each year. An incredible 10% of all cars in the United States come from Hyundai. The best-selling model is the Hyundai Tucson, with over 200,000 units sold annually. These presses are used to shape flat metal sheets into car body parts by applying enormous force, sometimes exceeding 3,000 tons. At Hyundai, Alabama, the factory can turn out roughly one car every minute at full speed, and the average labor required to build a vehicle is about 24 labor hours. At the Alabama factory, the production line is highly automated, with over 400 robots handling welding, painting, and other tasks. Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama is currently Hyundai's only full vehicle assembly plant in the United States. The Tucson has been produced here since 2021. All Tucson models sold in the U.S. before that were manufactured in South Korea and shipped to the U.S. by ferry. With laser welding, each location can be welded in as fast as half a second. These robots that you see right now are the best on the market right now. Robots are not only more cost-effective to operate, but they also execute tasks with far greater precision. Then, as part of the quality control process, the inspector applies hands-on judgment and close visual examination to confirm the integrity and consistency of the finished part. The body in white is now completely submerged in an anti-corrosion bath, which protects the metal body from rust. The facility is large, 1,744 acres, with multiple shops like stamping, weld, paint, assembly, engine shops, plus a test track, and supports production of several different models. The plant employs about 4,200 team members across all shifts. Hourly pay for plant and manufacturing jobs typically ranges from about $20 to $30, depending on the position, such as assembler, machine operator, or line worker. This plant doesn't just build SUVs. Over time, it also assembled sedans like Hyundai Sonata and Hyundai Elantra, and even more recently, crossovers like Hyundai Santa Cruz. After the anti-corrosion coating is applied, sealer is added to the steel joints. This is done partly by robotic arms and partly by skilled factory workers. Together, these steps form a critical body protection process that helps keep vehicles corrosion-free for decades. Much of the Tucson's body structure is made from advanced high-strength steel, which provides an optimal balance of strength and safety while reducing weight compared to conventional steels. This helps improve both fuel efficiency and handling. It takes roughly 24 labor hours to fully assemble a single Hyundai. This measures assembly labor hours per vehicle, not actual time. With multiple cars built in parallel on the assembly line, a single car isn't on the line for 24 continuous hours. Once the line is running, about 68 cars are completed each hour. Any paint imperfections are meticulously repaired and polished, demanding a high level of precision and attention to detail from the workers. In addition, some panels or components use a combination of materials, such as a mix of aluminum and steel, in the latest generation Tucson, to further optimize weight and performance. Right now, you can see the main engine assembly line, a highly coordinated production area where precision engineering and advanced manufacturing processes are used to build engines for Hyundai Tucson vehicles. Gasoline SmartStream engines for many Tucson models are manufactured in Montgomery, Alabama, to supply SUVs for the U.S. market. Last year, a total of 830,000 Hyundai vehicles were sold in the United States, including both domestic production and imports. By comparison, Toyota sold 2.3 million vehicles. This factory worker is now preparing the mounting for the license plate and attaching the chrome badges. Everything simply snaps into place, and attaching it is relatively easy. This massive yellow robotic arms are from Fanuc robots. They can independently lift the heavy car seats into the vehicle and then easily attach all the wheels to the brake discs. However, human workers still need to assist, monitor the entire process, and tighten the bolts on the vehicle afterward. Attaching the parts to the chassis is done from underneath the vehicle, which is lifted to a height that allows workers easy access. However, working overhead is still relatively strenuous for them. The Quality Control Division serves as the final line of defense to ensure every vehicle meets Hyundai's high standards. To navigate evolving tariff policies and reduce costs on North American-bound vehicles, Hyundai has shifted more Tucson production into the U.S., including units previously planned to be built in Mexico. This is a strategic manufacturing decision tied to trade and logistics, not just capacity. These inspectors develop the skill to detect even the smallest imperfections, such as gaps between panels as tiny as the thickness of a dime, using both touch and visual assessment. Quality inspectors are highly trained professionals who have completed specialized education and certification programs, allowing them to perform inspections efficiently and accurately. After a vehicle is completely assembled, it doesn't immediately go to a dealer. It goes through a final evaluation that includes a 2.3-mile test track on site at the Montgomery facility. Once all final inspections and test track evaluations are complete at the factory, the vehicles are prepared for shipment and loaded onto transport trucks or rail cars for delivery to dealerships throughout the United States. Driving the car around at various speeds helps detect issues such as squeaks, rattles, wind noise, or vibrations that might not show up just by visual inspection. Hyundai's Alabama plant also assembles the Santa Cruz, a versatile compact four-door pickup that debuted for the 2022 model year. As you can see, the production of each car begins with stamping the body parts. The workforce at the time was mostly American, with men and women of all ages. Instead of performing a variety of tasks to build an entire car, each worker stayed in one spot and focused on a single task throughout their shift. Sheet metal for the body panels is cut and stamped into precise shapes for the truck. Large stamping presses form the doors, hood, fenders, roof, and bed panels. As a unibody truck, these panels are carefully engineered to provide the utility of a pickup while maintaining the ride comfort of an SUV. The vehicle body at Hyundai's Alabama factory is made from approximately 430 individual parts, joined using both mechanical and thermal processes. Adaptive welding robots create up to 5,200 precise weld spots, ensuring every connection is exactly where it needs to be. All stamped parts are joined to form the vehicle's body shell. Robots carry out spot welding, arc welding, and adhesive bonding to ensure structural strength. Because the unibody design demands high torsional rigidity for both passenger comfort and bed durability, precise welding is essential. The combination of bed, cabin, and crossover-like ride is designed to create a versatile vehicle that is comfortable for everyday driving while still providing utility for cargo and light hauling. Unlike many traditional trucks, the Santa Cruz uses a unibody chassis, similar to a crossover or SUV, rather than a classic body-on-frame design. This gives it a ride and feel more like an SUV while still providing a pickup bed. The Santa Cruz comes with two main four-cylinder engines, a naturally aspirated option with 190 horsepower and a turbocharged option with 280 horsepower. Properly equipped with the right trim and towing package, it can tow up to approximately 5,000 pounds. The painting process begins with cleaning and pre-treating the metal to prevent rust, followed by electro-coating for uniform corrosion protection. A base coat adds color, and a clear coat provides gloss and scratch resistance. At Hyundai's Alabama plant, environmentally controlled paint booths ensure consistent quality, which is especially important given the region's humid conditions. Santa Cruz is not a full-size pickup. It's a compact pickup built on a unibody chassis. That means it doesn't have the same heavy-duty frame or massive cargo bed of a traditional large truck. For serious heavy hauling or heavy-duty towing, larger trucks will still outperform it. Robotic arms can apply paint uniformly across all surfaces, including hard-to-reach areas. Unlike humans, robots do not tire, so the coating thickness and finish remain consistent for every vehicle. The assembly process begins with installing the drivetrain, including the engine, transmission, and all-wheel drive system, followed by the suspension components. Each vehicle undergoes multiple inspections. Visual checks ensure proper paint and trim alignment. Functional tests verify doors, windows, electronics, infotainment, and driver assist features. At Alabama, automated robots handle repetitive tasks with precision, while human workers oversee the process and perform quality checks. Engines and transmissions are built or installed separately before being integrated into the chassis. Santa Cruz engines undergo testing for performance, emissions, and efficiency, while all-wheel drive systems are added depending on the vehicle's trim. Next, interior elements such as seats, dashboard, infotainment system, wiring harnesses, and air conditioning are added, and the exterior trim, including lights, bumpers, mirrors, doors, and the bed assembly, is attached. Unlike many conventional trucks that rely on body-on-frame construction, the Santa Cruz uses a unibody chassis, similar to those found in crossovers and SUVs. The Alabama facility also produces SmartStream gasoline engines used in Tucson models, making it a true origin point for key components, not just final assembly. Alabama factory is one of Hyundai's most advanced plants in North America, emphasizing high-quality U.S. production standards, which is a point of pride for local buyers. The Hyundai Santa Cruz lacks the heavy-duty frame and large cargo bed of a traditional full-size truck. For serious hauling or towing, bigger trucks still outperform it. At most workstations in the factory, at least 2 employees work together in coordination. Each of these teams has a responsible supervisor who is accountable for the final quality. Now the factory worker uses a manipulator arm to easily attach the entire front grille of the vehicle. Vulnerable parts of the vehicle, such as the fenders and quarter panels, are carefully covered to protect them from dents, scratches, or other damage during assembly. These robots previously installed wheels on the Tucson, and now on the same assembly line, they are also mounting wheels on the Santa Cruz. Once the door pads, windows, weather stripping, and wiring have been properly installed, the doors are then mounted onto the vehicle, completing this stage of the body assembly process. Road simulation and dyno testing evaluate the engine, brakes, and suspension. Finally, leak tests confirm water tightness, particularly in the bed and cabin areas. Over the years, Hyundai's Alabama plant has generated tens of thousands of direct and indirect jobs, and its economic impact has profoundly boosted the surrounding region, transforming it into a thriving hub for industry and employment. Once completed, Santa Cruz trucks are loaded onto transport trucks or rail cars and shipped to dealerships throughout Alabama and across the United States.